All right, there it is. There it is. What's going on, world? Took me a minute. I realized I walked out the house with my headphones in, and I was like, I don't want the audio to go towards the headphones when I have the mic clipped in. So anyway, walked out the house, smelled like fire. Come over, like, what the fuck am I smelling? What the fuck is this smell? I don't know if it's like actual like smoke in the air, smoke in the sky from a you know residual forest fires, things like that. I couldn't tell you if that's what it is. I hope not. I don't know. I smelled something. It didn't seem like someone was cooking or barbecuing, but it did seem like that. Now, here's the other thing. I've been sleeping kind of later, but also with my window open. So I don't know if I'm catching a residual, whatever, if I'm not getting the right amount of rest. I'm off my routine a bit. I'm a little off my routine. I'll say that much. You know what I mean? I'm a little off the routine. But I only need a reserve routine kind of energy for certain days of the week. Work days of the week, that is. So, but even with that being said, I got a pretty decent job. I got some good shit. You know what I mean? So we'll see what ends up happening. We'll see how it plays out, basically. Yeah. See how it goes. Let's get it over to I don't know. I was there last time at the I was originally gonna go. I don't know. I was originally gonna go to Golden Wheat, but I realized I had went to Golden Wheat how many days ago? How many days and weeks ago? That was last week. No, today's Saturday. That was earlier this week. Anyway, I went there during that time period. And I haven't visited this other spot in a while. But I don't know. I'm losing track of time here, man. Yeah, back to the routine. Back to the routine. I gotta figure out what's going on where. But yeah, ain't gonna lie. Another thing too is your boy's on point. You know, a little overly extra, just on point, paying attention to things. You know what I mean? Noticing the signs here and there, scoping shit out. I'm paying attention. I'm noticing shit. These patterns is one thing. You know, I'm gonna say it out loud. You know, get them patterns out within myself. You know, self recognition, things like that. So I'm being very mindful. Time and energy, effort being applied to shit. You know, I'm being real mindful. Um, but I'm being overly mindful of certain. You know, like I said, bro, there's people I ain't seen before. Everywhere, all type of shit. All that shit matter to me. All that shit account for something. You know, they got changes everywhere, man. Changes right now happening everywhere. I'm trying to figure, well, like, what's up with this shit, man? This is shit I've been talking about. Like, why'd they board these joints up? You know, everything like that. Why'd they board them up? And this is the whole damn building. The whole damn building looking like that. For what reason, I don't know. Then you got the smell of fire towards the end of the summer. Then you got the randos all through the neighborhood. Like, it's worse than it used to be. You know, then you mix that in with all the crazy shit that's been going on up the hill, people getting influenced by all type of shit. People in their feelings, and you know, we're wishing on each other. You know, I don't want to say I'm part of that because I don't want no parts in that. But it's all just playing out. It's playing itself out in front of me. I can't act like I'm not seeing it. Act like I'm not feeling it. Pause. So I'm mindful of this shit. I'm like, what's going on here? It's a weird dip in the week, so I've been, you know, tapping back into, you know, mix of things, from what do you call this? numerology, if you will. You know, things along the numerology line of studies and things like that. Just all type of shit. But you go outside and everything's just real. It's quiet. It's almost like, you know, calm before the storm type shit. All type of weird shit happen. Internet been sus, man. Internet been hitting with the sus stuff. The timing of everything is interesting too. The timing been really interesting, man. Like I said, I've been scoping these things. You know. Shout out to Lilith. We were over here shutting shit down, chopping up about what's going on, real life and all that. And really, you know, getting to know each other, etc. But looking out for each other. Nonetheless, we don't know nobody. We don't know each other from nobody. Realistically, and we're checking in straight like that. My thing for why I was bringing this up is, you know, we're shutting shit down, cracking down on what's really happening. Like I say, it's too calm, it's too quiet right now. And then, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say coincidence or something. Like literally, like right after, as soon as I get off, this is live stream from last night. As soon as I get out of that shit, it's fucking what do you call this? It's I'm getting hit up by randos. I mean, I ain't gonna say randos, but like people I actually know. So it's the timing of all the crazy shit. The timing of all the crazy shit mixed in with like certain people that kind of seem to be coming out their face. How's it going? And it's fucking me up. It kind of threw me off a little bit. How's it going? Yeah, let's see. Anyway, we're gonna get this coffee. Let's see what happens. For now, man. Last time I did get the egg bite. Might do it twice. How's it going? How are you? Pretty good, pretty good. Cut 12 ounce Americano. 12 ounce? Americano. Americano? Yes, please. Anything in there? I'll have black. Okay, and hot or cold? I'll do cold. Cold? Okay. 413 for you today. Thank you. Thank you. Your what call is popular? The hot protein drink. Very, yeah. Man, everybody's on the keto. We're locked in. Just been trying to be more locked in on it all. You know, everything kind of playing itself out. Right or wrong. And I'm just focusing on catching things. Sure. Okay, I'll be here for a minute. I'll have to. Sure. Focusing on things, and it's like, oh yeah, certain things don't go my way. Oh, excuse me. And certain things don't go certain people's way. They start cracking down on you, hating on you and your channel. But it's like we're hitting a point. I think after we hit 200 episodes, there's gonna be no more. Matter of fact, it can start right now. It can start today. There'll be less entertainment in that aspect for people. You know, we'll let themselves play. We'll let certain things play itself out more often. But it'll be less entertainment on that side. You know? So we'll see. Because last time when I was talking, I didn't have to say much for people to entertain themselves. You know? What's going on, Juice? What's going on, Juice? I can't read what you're writing, man. Break that down for me. Let me know what you wrote, man. Let me know what you wrote, Juice. Oh, konnichiwa? That's what it was? Alright, but hold on one second. Let me put the about to leave right now. There we go. Let me know if my connection's back. Give me a second. I gotta check something. Is that hold on. Is my connection choppy? Let me know if it's choppy because the timer going, but it said reconnecting. Let me know if my connection is back. You know, oh, it's back. Okay, yeah. Now I just grabbed a coffee, real quick, iced coffee. You know what I mean? Let's see how it's gonna get going today. It was choppy for a second, but it's good. Okay. Yeah, I went from window to window, and I don't know if that helped or not. And then I tried to like double tap the screen as soon as I walked out the little coffee spot. But yeah, it's been interesting. What's going on with you, man, Juice? What's going on with you, bro? Talk to me. What's going on in your your neck of the woods? Talk to me, man. What's going on with you? Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. I read it all. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods or what's going on in life with you. You know, I'm at a point, man, and just chilling before the kids start their soccer game. Oh, that's nice. Nice, man. How old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking? Like, is it just like a kids soccer game? Like, is it kids league or it's like high school? Is it one of those? Yeah. I used to go to like kids games and stuff when I was this girl I was dating in high school. Oh, they're 6 and 3. Yeah, this girl I was dating in high school. Her little sister used to go to like they do like 4 games a day, 4 games a day. All these kids that would play 30-minute games, 15-minute halves or something like that. It was like really short, but it was like a marathon thing that they did for a reading program. To my what I remember, it's really it tripped me out because I was like, man, I could barely run around. Well, I mean, I guess I was able to run around, but like having to aim to kick and like get it in the goal or whatever, that was always been hard. So to watch the kids try their best was crazy. I was like, that is crazy. It's commendable, it's commendable. Was what I mean. But soccer's a different type of sport. If you're good at soccer, you could translate that to almost any other sport. You know, just the stamina and the conditioning that people get and they master from soccer. That's what ends up happening, which is really cool. Yeah. Uh, yeah, man. My bad. 3, yeah, some simple shit. That's good though, man. Older I get, man, simplicity is like everything. Simplicity, it's not quite mastery, but it is like a necessity, if you will. But yeah, I've been having my what do you call this? Been having like there's no button over here. Um, not preconceived, but like my hunches on certain people. So I've been peeping it more lately, and it's all making sense. The timing of a lot of shit, man. You know, that's how I be though. A lot of people live on the internet. Back to what I was saying. A lot of people live on the internet. That isn't yo, what the fuck, bro? Wrong with you, bro? Should have jumped up and socked this dude in his fucking god damn. What's wrong with this fucking truck here, man? Truck trying to run me over. I'm saying everybody fucking with me right now. That's crazy. Dude was taking the sharpest fucking turn on me. That was crazy. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep myself as peaceful as possible. I was about to chuck my damn coffee in his window. What the fuck is wrong with him? That was crazy. But yeah, man. That should be playing itself out right in front of me. And it doesn't go unnoticed. You know what I mean? That shit don't go unnoticed, man. That shit don't go uh I peep it all the time. on people all the time. It never goes unnoticed. But I'm just, I'm not choosing no words carefully. I'm not being overly mindful. I'm just scoping people who live on the internet, on some troll shit. I live with one, man. I feel like I always got some weird shit to say because he just live on the internet. But I'm like, I don't know. It's goofball shit, goofball behavior. But people be on their stuff, man. You know, people on their bullshit, man. That's how they conduct themselves. Like, we here for it. But also, that's the other aspect. Is like, the other aspect is like, um, the internet is where all of the influence is at. Unfortunately, the majority of people that so the majority of people that like what's it called get set into fear, so to the point where they don't want to leave the house or they don't leave their comfort zones and then only live and get their information through the internet. It exists. It actually exists, and people use those moments to kind of just be manipulative. They're aware of it to the point where it's like, yeah, a lot of people don't want to leave the house. A lot of people hop in the car, drive to and from point A to B, and yeah, it's a thing that you see play out where it's like, I'm not saying everybody should walk around more, but if you can't, you can't. You know what I mean? I don't know. You guys see the crow? Crow swooping down. A visitation. Oh, the wife called. Hey, no worries, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta take care of family business first. That's priority, right? Um, yeah, man. Some people only live on the internet. This type of shit that they would argue about, talk down to people about, etc. They would only do it in the context of being online in responses to stuff. It's not. People show up to rallies and protests with bad intentions. Unfortunately, things like that. And it's like you got other people who are kind of there, just expressing a form of what's the word? Not necessarily unity, but camaraderie or whatever. There'd be shit like that, which is crazy. So a lot of people live on the internet, man. But I've been peeping it more and more lately, right or wrong. I've been peeping it a lot more. It catches me off guard a little bit, but I'm like, you know what? I forget sometimes. Some people just be living in their own little zone. The cat threw up on her sweater, so she's beep. Oh, damn! Like the cat at the house. Kind of crazy. Think about. But yeah, no, I go through these weird phases where it's like some people drop in the live stream, whether I'm addressing things right or wrong, good and bad. I try to stay positive as much as possible, keep my mind off of some bullshit, and I'll always get a slew of people that kind of hover in the background, if not just pretend to hang out, pretend to be some people that they're not. And when it all starts to play itself out, um, their mental illnesses kick in or whatever. And yeah, man, the channel. I'm not saying the channel gets flagged, but it becomes under review for nothing. And I'm like, yo, I go through these waves almost more often than not, and it's almost like right after I hit 1,000 subs. As soon as I hit 1,000 subs, it was like most people just trying to find the channel and do some weird, some personal stuff shit or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. But then, like, what I'm saying is, when I'm seeing it play out in real life, I'm like, I'm not doing nothing to you. The people I know in real life that be on some funny shit, I'm not doing nothing to you, but there's a strange judgment that gets passed based off of when people gossip amongst themselves, but don't know how to hold conversation. But you almost have to master the snippets of life. You almost have to master like the seconds that you spend with people, the impressions you make. And I'm like, I'm not here to bullshit in life in general. You know what I mean? It's all kind of here documented, which is where my efforts are at. But also in person, I talk to people a lot. I talk to people a lot in person, as much as I can, as much as I possibly can. Even if it makes them uncomfortable, I might even ask, like, hey, let me know if I'm talking too much. I'll leave. I'm big on that. So, yeah, I'm big on that, man. and the way shit plays out sometimes. I'm very thought. I mean, not thoughtful, but I'm very mindful of a lot of things, which is crazy. But I'm scoping a lot of shit, man. I'll be peeping things. You know, it's really interesting. The convenience of like certain people, you know, starting shit and fucking shit up. It's like I've been seeing that a lot in person. I'm like, I don't know what to feel about it. Some people are not mentally well, and some people are not necessarily, you know, they're just not well. You could just tell that they're not well. And it's like as much as I have a concern for that in general, and I want to be available for that, it's actually not my problem. Like these are strangers. Sometimes these are actual people I know, but it's funny because sometimes there's people you know and they could actually give a fuck about you, which is crazy. And yeah, I had to dial it back. You know, shout out, like I said, shout out to my people I was talking with and checking in with, which is crazy. And I was like, some people I actually know sometimes they can give a fuck about me, and there's some shit mentally that they got to work on. And like I said, I was telling this to the person at the store the other day. I was like, you know, it's not really my job to educate people. It's also not my job to like confront and like argue with people all the time about stuff, right or wrong, or whether it's my opinion or whether it's my feelings or not. But if somewhere down the line, if I'm constantly like trying to tell someone some information, correct them, etc., or trying to help them out, and then I'm not really getting the love reciprocated, if I'm not getting the credit, I just have to wait for that person to say that they're sorry in the long run, and even kind of just apologize for like who they were or what they were on. I almost have to just wait for that because it's just not my job. I'm not really here to convince people. You know what I mean? That you're a real ass person. I can't imagine anyone beefing with you. I don't even think it's beef. I think you know what it is, man. It's people are seeking attention through me. Like I think let's say for example, because you said I'm a real ass person, someone might be like, damn, I want this real ass person to recognize me. Let's say that's the thing. And then the moment I don't recognize them, because they threw me a compliment first and I don't start recognizing them, all of a sudden it becomes this they turn into a mental health crisis within themselves and they get mad and they're like, damn, I congratulated him, I recognize him for his whatever, and why doesn't he recognize me when I'm doing my personal thing? And it's just like, yeah, because you start to, catch people's I mean personally, like whether it's the live stream or just like in real life, like I said, I start to catch people's like they do and say certain things to me to get a certain reaction, and then they become disrespectful or whatever. They become a certain way to try to get that same love reciprocated. It's weird. It's just really weird, but it's like that. That's like a normal thing that I'm seeing from people. Where it's like, I was personally upset because, like I said, certain places that I went, certain stores that I dropped in at, I was saying hi to people, saying what's up to them. I was over there and I was showing love and supporting them as a business. But then when I realized how kind of disrespectful they were to their own people and to other people in general, I was like, you know, what, man, I don't even know why I'm dealing with them like that. I feel bad for having supported them, but it's on me. Like it's not wrong with me for supporting them, but it's on me to recognize it, and it's on me if I want to continue going here and doing that. But it's also not my job to try to change who they are as people. But so I don't know, man. Like the beef side of it is weird because it's like it's technically not like heavy. You know what I mean? Like heavy shit is like real beef, but a lot of the stuff isn't heavy. It's just people are really just caught up in a weird emotional time where they want to be recognized and heard for all of their it doesn't matter what it is, man. Political beliefs, personal beliefs. This is my pain. These are the crimes. It's whatever. Like that people want to be whatever for that, and it's really interesting. But as much as I have a concern for it, it's also not my concern, and I have to remember that sometimes. Every time your lies land on my feet, I stop scrolling. I appreciate that, man. I mean, you know, yeah, if you have time to kick it, I mean, I appreciate it. Like, and again, I'm trying not to shift people's like mindsets or nothing. I just want people to, if anything, I'm trying to offer more perspective because I think a lot of us sometimes do have tunnel vision. I say that for myself too. I for sure have tunnel vision. If I'm not at work, then I'm trying to do like live streams and other like silk song works and stuff. So I'm just trying to keep on doing some form of work or filming. Excuse me, if that makes sense. And I get tunnel vision sometimes, so it's important for me to kind of like. I said it out loud one time. I was like, my friend is here from out of town. They're gonna meet up with other people. We haven't all met up and hung out in a long time together. So it's a great time for us to really sit down because if I'm not sitting down and having regular life moments, I'm just gonna be on live stream talking about the past. I'm gonna be on live stream talking about my affirmations or whatever within myself. Just motivating myself, finding a way to motivate myself. Does that make sense? Like I'll just be doing that, which is crazy. So I think like I'm trying not to like influence people's thought processes. I want to help people just see the whole perspective, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird. Like I can't really like. Does that make sense? Like I know like I can't. Not that I'm trying to juice, but like I'm not trying to change you. But it's just like maybe if there's a quality about you that I either question or like whatever, like we'll just talk about it. But I don't want to be like those weird people who demonize people right away when they say that one trigger word or that one thing. I don't want to be like in that boat or like, oh my god, he said one thing or he has one belief. I think we're supposed to hate him now. Like I don't. That shit is weird too. But that's the climate of the country and like whatever we're like in the world that we're living in now. It is that bad. I guess some people also hate realness because they can't keep it real or feel like they'd be judged too much for being themselves. It is kind of strange because it's like that. The reason why that's weird is because it's like I don't think a lot of people are 100% themselves. Like even like I don't know. Like I try to film and record and document everything, but it's like I'm not gonna sit on the toilet and document me taking a shit for like oh this is my biggest shit of the month. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing like vlogs like that. Oh, this is my biggest shit of the week. I needed to document a short about it and put some music over it. Like, so, does that make sense? Like, I don't want to get that real. I don't want to get so real that when I spend time with family and friends, I have to document that too. And then, because it's almost like if I every time I put the camera out, I'm not trying to like get into character, but I'm trying to be honest about where I am with my thoughts right now. Does that make sense? It's weird because like there's something about that, what real or not. It's like it invites people. It invites people and energy and I want to welcome it, but I have to remember, like, as much as I welcome it, I'm not responsible for how they interpret it or how they interpret it or how they receive it or whatever. You know, I don't know what the word is, but like it's really weird. It's like it's just little things I'm starting to catch here and there. But I realize I have a large. I'm overly concerned with shit that I probably shouldn't be concerned with. Um, and things will just play out the way it needs to play out, which is crazy. Yeah, right, staying active. Um, it's gonna keep you productive, even if it sometimes feels pointless or random. Yeah, and it's helped a lot. Like I will say, just staying on top of the button, just staying on top of things is helped a lot. We're supposed to have different beliefs, and not necessarily so we can convince other people of our beliefs. But I think everyone should have some different. Yeah, right, right, right. And it's like it is weird because it's like sometimes I'll deal with people younger than me that they're a little gung ho in their beliefs and their feelings, which is fine. I think I like that about them. But there's a point where it's like I'm if I'm allowing you to speak or if I'm like tentatively listening to someone, it doesn't mean that you're commanding the room. But people will continuously speak and act like they're commanding a room because they want to get their points across, which is fair. But I'm also like communication has to be a two-way street. It has to be shared at some point, and things are only shared when there is a mutual respect. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting. Like if you're playing an RPG or anything with a team, you always want a different skills that can interact. Yeah, right, right, right. And that's like I think there's something about that a lot of people don't quite like they take for granted. I would say they're just like they want everyone to be on the same page. I think yeah, you can be on the same page of like same goals or like same this you can have a whole team full of brawlers, like actual like warrior kind of class people, but then like some of them know certain magics, some of them know certain healing abilities, some of them know how to use items, like just shit like that. Like I'm just using an analogy here, but I don't know. It's really strange, man. It's like um, but I don't want to say I. Does that make sense? Like I'm trying not to check people, so I don't know how I'm being interpreted, but I just like let people know, like man, this it's sometimes it's not that serious. It doesn't matter if it's Beyblade or if it's just like someone else's personal belief. It's like how much does stuff truly affect you to the point where you go out of like character or out of line to want to hurt someone or argue with a stranger. Like how far do we go? And a lot of times this shit is necessary. Don't get me wrong, this shit is necessary, but it's just like guys, like there's other shit you keep like as the amount of energy people put into hating and wanting to interact in a very spiteful way towards each other. It's like they don't put that much energy into themselves on a positive build, if not rebuild, if not a passion of their life. And that's kind of where I draw the line with people. I think like I will say that is where I draw the line. Like people who don't do anything for themselves or others, but then they're out here arguing a point or trolling or something like that. It's like I draw the line with a lot of people, man. I can't handle that. It's just like you got to handle your shit first. But people will find time in their day, like as much as they troll, like I know some people that are good parents or whatever, are good parents. They know how to take care of kids and family, but then they find time on their downtime when they're bored in mid-troll. It's kind of crazy. That's crazy. I'm even smelling smoke, so I don't know. And then here comes the fire truck. Because I've been smelling smoke and fire all morning, but I'm like, is it from forest fires or what? Like what the? But then it might be an actual smoke. That's crazy. But also like firefighters, like the actual first responders. But anyway, sometimes shit is necessary, or people think it affects them more than it actually does. Like people letting politics divide them from their family when both sides are just copying something they hear. Yeah, but I think it's like having a, you know, it's hard to like. And I'm come from like an organizing background, which is crazy. You're smelling smoke too this morning. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was wondering about that, and I don't know, man. It's I'll give an example. Like if someone is mad at their family or mad at like certain people because they have empathy for a certain group, that's fair. It just means you're a very empathetic person. But there's nothing wrong with leaning into that and figuring that out. But we don't quite live in a world where that's like loved and accepted yet and valued. You know what I mean? And there's gonna be people in the long run, you know, whether they're whether the people of color who go through discrimination or even like Muslim people who get discriminated, just for existing sometimes, and vice versa. Like you just people being attacked for beliefs and race and all this crazy shit, and this like political choices, choice of clothes and choice of gender, like all that extra shit. It's like people will get hated on and fucked with for everything. And my thing is like, you know, there's gonna be some people, even when we get to a point where the empathy aspect is actually valued, some people are gonna have the brunt of all that at the end of the day. I mean, we're seeing it right now a little bit. Some people are gonna be at the brunts of those jokes and the brunts of all those you know, things along the like all the fucking disputes along the way, and they're gonna feel so unheard and they're gonna lash out in the worst way. Yeah, like I said, it's playing out. It's playing out a lot right now. Where I'm like, I tell people, I was like, I'm not even mad at people's political choices. Like they're American, they have a choice to vote, and they exercise their right to vote. So I don't care. But my thing is like for us to be at war with each other, to not have an actual argument and conversation, it's we've lost it. Like we've lost it, and I'm not here to like. I used to be in a position, and I had the responsibility to help facilitate that when I was an organizer. But right now, because I stepped away just to be someone who was available for family and stuff, and I want to continue being available for family and myself, I'm like, I can only just offer you a perspective. But some people, they don't. It's going to be harder for them. So it's just really strange, man. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. It's not very linear the way I'm explaining it, but um, it's tricky, man. Like I wish the best for people. Like I'm on my Trinity is God, love, and nature. So it's like even for people who don't believe in God, I still take time to listen to them because I want to hear why they feel that way or why science matters a lot to them. Like that, you're still a human being, and this stuff is important to you. So I want to learn from you. But I just personally believe in God and then nature. Like some people give a damn about nature. Some people litter, quite simply, and then other people don't give a damn about their environment. They really don't care. And then some people don't care about love. They just think that fuck love. It's all about money and some other shit. And I still listen to everybody. I hear everyone out. It's like, yeah, I take perspectives and I flip it and I find the dichotomy here and there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the parallels, if anything, having emotions about it and arguments. Look at this leaf that fell down. Damn. Autumn is upon us. Having emotions about it and arguments is fine and healthy until it leads to actually hating or cutting people off. Yeah. And it's like I've cut off. I say that I cut off certain family members, but at the same time, my phone is available for them to finally call me back. My phone is available for them to finally like talk to me correctly in the sense of like there's people that just kind of hit me up and it's like they always want to gossip about some shit or they're gonna start a conversation like, hey, hear me out, or no, we're not gonna do nothing crazy. And it's just like the fact that you have to warn me about stuff, I probably shouldn't even be talking to you. And you've known me since I was a kid, so don't even let's not do this. So I always say I cut them off, but realistically my phone is always open to them. And I think about that sometimes where I'm like, I'm willing to have the conversation, but I just want there's some days where I'm like, the more I think about it, if I was wrong, somebody can point it out and we'll talk about it. But for the most part, with certain people that I don't deal with no more, I was like, I just kind of need my apology. If not, I just want people to recognize, like, hey, man, I was really trying to help you at a time of need. And you told me you're at a time of need, or you made it clear that you're at a time of need, and you know that I'm not going to stop trying to help. Like, I'm never going to give up on people I love. So it's like the fact that my time was utilized and I was just basically being used. I look back and I take inventory of that shit. I'm like, I'm trying not to be spiteful, but I'm very mindful of like, oh yeah, people will waste my fucking time and energy. And yeah, I don't know. I continuously, even with that being said, I continuously just kind of try to stay on some shining shit. Just still trying to project good energy because I'm just like, I don't want one experience with one person or two people in my life to deter me from being the person that I thought was important to be, if that makes sense. It's really interesting. So, but I'm starting to learn more about like just kind of recentering and like, yeah, a lot of that stuff. Remember, it's not your responsibility. So when I start taking the responsibility aspect out of it, I'll just stay focused on the responsibility of myself, which matters a whole lot more, like way more and a whole lot more. It's like, and I said this like in very like I think some of my early live streams where I was like, the best version of yourself can help everyone else. Like I've always said that, where I was like, the best version of yourself can help everyone else, and like I have to really start taking my advice like more so now. So I'm getting better at saving my money, spending it on myself in a very productive way, and doing things of that nature. You know what I mean? Oh, they got a motorcade right now. There's a motorcade. Is that what it's called? Where they're being led by the um. Oh my God, it's a funeral, right? Is it? Yeah. Damn. R.I.P. R.I.P. I just see the hearse. It's like a white hearse being led by some motorcycles. Damn. R.I.P. Man. Bam. I remember we had a motorcade for my grandpa. That shit crazy. They were taking us through these crazy ass loops. I was like, where the fuck we going? But it was like they turned these really tight roads into one ways for us. I was like, oh shit, we going all the way north. You know, that shit crazy as hell. Finding out you're wrong is one of the best things ever. Yeah, I feel the same way. Either you learn something or find out something isn't as bad as you originally imagined. Yeah, man. That learning experience shit, like I'm all for being corrected and like being not, like it's one thing if someone corrects me or like talks to me and has a conversation, but it's another thing if you put someone in their place. Like, I don't think no one likes to be, you know, like or educated or forced into a certain form of like, hey, I want you to like look into this or study that. And when people are made to feel like they don't know a lot, it's one thing if like I'm like, hey man, I think you should be more informed about something. Like there's a way to kind of say things, if not phrase things. Some people are more straight up, and it comes down to like what you want or what you need. I'm okay with a rough type of education because I was used to that. The only way I learned how to read and write was because my dad hit me because I was terrible at reading and writing, and then I got better at reading and writing because like I would just keep fucking up. It was like a bootleg hooked on phonics, and then I kept fucking up so much, and my dad had to get ready to go to work that he was getting mad. He hit me. He's like, "Get the shit right. We've been doing the same thing for how long? We've been doing this all fucking day, all morning. Like you've been doing this all week, all morning. You still can't figure this out." And he would just hit me, and it's just like, it's funny. You go through all that shit, and then the older you get, you start meeting kids or seeing kids that like have learning disabilities, and then they get coddled and whatever for it, and then all the way up until they're 12 and 16, they're still just like not sharp. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like on another hand, I feel like, you know, I had this old like line that I used to say, and during if you look up Crown Dysfunction, Cinco Bang that album, I said something funny like if I it's like something because I was referencing Parenthood, the TV show. I said Parenthood Insanity. If I had Asperger's, mom beat it out of me. I used to always joke about that shit because I was like, I relate a lot to people on the spectrum, but I've never been diagnosed with the spectrum. And every time I did the self-diagnosis, it was like, yeah, you're not on the spectrum. I was like, I don't fucking know, man. Sometimes I be vibing with these motherfuckers. I swear to God, I had a learning disability, and I was just getting my ass beat to the point where it paused, where I was just getting like you know, I had to learn quick, or else I was getting whooped on. It's not right, but it helped me. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. It just helped me. But like I said, as I got older, I had to reshape. Like, oh yeah, you only learn in a very hostile and violent environment, unfortunately. But you gotta reframe that. So that's why you see me talk so much about peace and stuff because a lot of my upbringing in childhood was like based off of that shit. And I'm like, yeah, it's time to really fix shit and just be like a quote unquote normal human being or whatever. But my bad, I'm over here all over the place. Um, I read that already. The only thing annoying is being corrected on grammar or petty stuff that takes away from yeah, right. And it's just like it's okay if I'm pronouncing someone's name wrong or something, but then like you're saying grammar, it should be fucking me up because it's like you know what I'm trying to say and you know what I'm saying, but let's just keep the conversation going. But also allow people to speak the way that they are, allow people to be who they are. Like
That's how you know people want. Like when I'm around people like that, I'm just like, unless I'm saying something disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're like doing a grammar correction is one thing, but if you're doing like a hey man, just be careful. Like I don't want you to say something that's a little off putting. That's one thing. But then there's another thing if it's like I don't know what the word is. Yeah, like you said, the grammar correction. I guess I would just use that term for now. That should be kind of crazy. Some people get real comfortable with that shit too, right or wrong. It's kind of crazy. Battle scars hurt, but it's part of that hero's journey. Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to that. I think like, but the reason why I say there's some truth to that is because for whatever reason, my whole life, the men in my life would give out little challenges and tests for me, and I would want to take up each challenge and test until I started learning how to box. And when I started learning how to box, I was like, oh yeah, I don't let nobody test me. I only test myself. I don't let nobody put me through something unless I'm putting myself through the training. If I'm putting myself through the gauntlet, that matters way more than someone trying to give me a task. I'm like, fuck all that. Because I understood self discipline now. I was like, only I give myself those tasks and I put myself through those tribulations to be stronger and whatever. Because it only matters there. Otherwise, you're gonna keep on relying on like, I need someone to be violent with me. I need someone to argue with me in order for me to. Like, you basically like are begging for a negative interaction to become good, if that makes sense. And the whole other point I was trying to make was, even with that being said, even though that's a part of my makeup, it's like there's another aspect where some people just if they were in the same shoes that I was in, they wouldn't have the threshold to handle that pain, and they wouldn't have the threshold to deal with that mental pain or whatever. And I don't know how or why, but I was able to just get through it and just still be cool about shit. I don't know, like I wasn't perfect. I still dealt with suicide at times, but it's just kind of strange how it all played out. Loki, man, I got to piss behind a tree somewhere. I got to find this shit. I might just whip out the thing right here. I hate to say it. Give me a second. I might have to. Boom. And I feel bad because it's like can't even tell who's outside, man. I'm like, I have nothing to block my view. I'm over here trying to piss on the fucking tree. Damn, my bad. But yeah, I'm over here. I had damn piss on the tree, side of the fucking tree. I get no blocking the views over here, man. I guess nothing. All right, hold on 1 second. But yeah, man, I do need to start walking around like sanitizer more and shit. That's why I hate pissing public because I got to rush that shit. I'm over here looking around like, fuck, man. I want nobody to pull a camera out, something funny. Also, depending on who you are as a person experiencing those things that hurt, also teach that you don't want to make others feel that way. Yeah, and then but that's one aspect, and it's like some people. I guess that goes back to the threshold conversation where it's like some people go through that shit and they can't wait to inflict that on others, subconsciously, which is crazy. But I used to be that kid until I wasn't, and then I know people who used to be that way. They stopped and they went right back to it. They went right back to the pattern, if not the behavior of just continuing that bad behavior or whatever. And it's sad where it's just like you could tell again back to priorities. They don't prioritize the effort of checking themselves, or they don't prioritize the effort of you know going to therapy for themselves, looking at answers outside of themselves. You know what I mean? And some people maybe they need faith to be a stronger person. Maybe they need whatever. Maybe they need just working out. Maybe they just need to go they need to be somewhere and just start painting or just like fucking sculpting shit or whatever. They need to go to some kind of arts class. Like you don't know with certain people. I mean, everyone's a little different, right? It's kind of weird that way, but some people just need some form of outlet because if they don't have an outlet, they're continuously, putting the energy out on someone that doesn't deserve it, or continuously putting out the negative energy on someone that they subconsciously recognize as the older, weak version of themselves, and they're like trying to defeat, if not teach that person. Does that make sense? Like if you grew up with parents that were like toughening you up and you were weaker than them, it's like when you get older, you're gonna start doing that same thing to like friends and family that you consider weak too, and you're gonna be like subconsciously trying to toughen them up or some weird shit. You're gonna try to get reactions out of it. I had people that like they grew up, reacting to everything, thinking that it was a tough thing to react to everything physically and arguing back. And they would try to talk to me because I wouldn't argue back. They would try to get under my skin and see what I'd argue back. But I would shut them down calmly every time and remind them how fucking stupid they were. I almost dropped the R bomb, but I might do it next time. And it's like, I was like, yeah, you can argue all day, but the reason why you're doing this is because you got a whole lot of shit that you ain't dealt with, and you're too stupid to have a normal conversation, so you want to incite arguments that go in circles. Like I would just check people all the time, and it was just like they would get mad because it was like, damn, I want him to get as mad as I've been historically, or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not here for that. Like I'm not here for your entertainment, bro. If you were here for my entertainment, I'd be using you as a punching bag or a speed bag. You know what I mean? That's my way of doing it because I don't be talking too much. Like when I'm on the live stream, I talk a lot because the talking aspect, the information aspect, the empathetic aspect is very important before things get out of hand and become physical. You know what I mean? So like I have to constantly like, last night we are talking about if you're explaining you're losing, but I have to constantly like explain certain things and master the explanation of things in order to get to a point where people just understand what's necessary. But again, I'm not here to preach. I'm also not like responsible for a lot of people's shit. But one thing people can't deny, because we're at episode 180 right now, 180 live streams, I've been nothing but informational, if not caring. And that's I try to, as much as possible, just like push that out where I'm like, let me start giving as much as I want to entertain myself and talk about how I'm feeling today or how I felt that week. I gotta tap into like a bit of like just having a bit of care for what's necessary topic wise, etc. My bad. Did I miss something? Okay, no, we're good. But so I think about that shit sometimes, man. I think about that shit sometimes. I forgot how I got there. But yeah, some people can't let go of attacking the piece of themselves that they recognize in others, and it's sad, man. It's really sad. It's scary though, but it's just like we gotta recognize that shit, and we gotta point it out with people like, hey, man, just understand that you have a thing. Like we have one dude in our group, man. He's still kind of a kid, but people like to attack him for being like the weird guy. But it's funny because he makes fun of himself. But it's like, yeah, everyone's been that person that was young, weird, funny, makes fun of themselves, don't take themselves too seriously, and it's like let's kind of lean into the side of him where it's just like he's a fun person to be around. He's a great person to be around. But on the other side, it's like people are kind of attacking the side of themselves that they used to get bullied for. And I'm like, nah, man, we grown up, we passed that. We're supposed to be better versions of ourselves. So I'm trying to get a little better at just checking motherfuckers and letting them know, like, hey, man, let's not do that to people younger than us. Let's get a little better. Let's be a little better about it. So it's not easy, man. It's not easy, but it's just like I hate being that responsible person sometimes. But that's what it is. I hate being that responsible person, but things are not my responsibility. It's fucked up. But that's the weird double-edged sword dichotomy of all this shit. Some people want to win no matter what, even if the way they win has nothing to do with the conversation or top. Yeah, I've seen that too, man. That's why some people will bring up past shit you did wrong. Yeah, I remember. I used to always bring up this reference. Um, it was a dude who was talking about shoes I used to wear back in like middle school. Like yeah, middle school. 'Cause I remember when he used to wear these shoes in middle school and stuff like that. And then I was like, yeah, I remember those shoes, man. I was like, do you remember when your parents bought you shoes? Because my parents bought me my shoes. He was like, yeah. And I looked at his shoes. I was like, are your parents still buying your shoes? Like, is this your choice right now? Because like we're in our 20s and 30s, so it's like, I mean, if we're bringing up old shit, we can talk about the old shit. I remember I was on top of my shit in middle school. I had shoes that can be judged, but can you judge the person I was or what I was doing? Like, what are we doing right now? You know what I'm saying? Are you still not getting bitches? Are we rating ourselves based on 2007? So if we're going back if we're basing ourselves based off 2007, do you have people that still like punch you in the face and make fun of you? Do you still have people that clown on you for just being a square? Like, what are we doing here? We going back to '07. Let's talk '07 then, because I was solid in '07. What we doing? You know? But it's just funny shit like that. I meet people halfway with their bullshit, and it's just like, well, let me know what we doing, man. Like, past is the past. Some people, the past is the past, and it's just like you can't let go of that shit because you still stuck there, man. People don't know where they're going. The other kind of crazy thing is when you get older and realize you're exactly like your parents, just in different circumstances, and you see how both you and your parents could have been different. Yeah, I think about this sometimes too. I think there's I think about how my mom is emotionally and how my dad is emotionally, and it's just like I'm a combination of them. You know what I mean? And I think about in situations how they speak up or how they would have spoken up. I think about how they handle people kind of doing some disrespectful shit towards them, or people doing like such shit towards them and stuff like that. You know, I swear to God, like every time I come here, it's like and people know what they're doing, and people know what they're doing. They be throwing shit on this side over here. I be thinking about that shit sometimes. Maybe I'm wrong. With all the attention I've been getting in past couple of days, just in general, or past whatever, I might be turning into a narcissist. I don't fucking know. If I am, I hope somebody check me. Cause some days, man, I be doing shit and I'm just like, there's no reason. Like I swear, I be sitting at the park, like this one specifically, because there's like a wide grass area, and I'll be sitting here. I'll be sitting here. I'll be sitting at the one up the street, and there be moments where people just like throwing the ball or they're chucking it so the dog can chase it and play fetch. And it's just like you're throwing it in my zone. Like I'm far from I'm at one of the benches farthest from the actual field. And so you're throwing the ball purposely hella hard so it bounces this way, and the dog runs in my section or something weird to like for what attention or just like to see if someone like flinches or gets riled. Like I don't know, I don't fucking know, but it feels that way sometimes. And like again, going back to like not trying to ignore intuition, it's like why do people do weird shit like that? But it's always some weird shit, and it's never no. I don't say I get no apologies or whatever for it, but I probably get it one or two times. But I swear to God, people be knowing what they're doing sometimes. But again, like I said, maybe I'm just being a narcissist. Maybe I'm turning into one. You know, it should be happening every so often. You know, it's just like y'all playing games. It's just like and that's the other thing is like the amount of times that I'm kind of like like I say, I walk past people, nod my head, say hi. People walk past me, I'm sitting here on the bench, and I just say hi. I might say good morning and shit, and then people are kind of nonchalantly just going about their day, and they don't respond or don't have whatever. Cool, it's whatever. That's just the person they are. But if that same person's over here, you know, chucking a little stupid ass ball, and then they don't acknowledge and say my bad, apologies. It's just like yeah, so you just walk through life thinking you can just do whatever. Like you're one of those people basically. You know what I mean? If it's not intentional, then you're just one of those people that are just like un whatever. Some people be like that. It's fucking stupid, but that's the shit be around. It's like unaccountable. People are unaccountable for their shit. Everyone is just trying to get by in life the best they can. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's the other thing is like I said, I'm not trying to be like a fake teacher or like whatever. I'm not being paid for it, but I want to be able to just talk to people about like, hey man, just think about this a little bit. Think about this a little more. Let's be a little more considerate here and there. People want to be able to joke around with each other. They want to be able to lighten the mood and joke around with each other. But I be thinking lately, like I probably take life a little too serious sometimes, man. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, you know. And when dog people think they can do whatever they want. I mean, I don't. Yeah, some of them, man. Some of them, man. Some of them be on bullshit. That's the crazy thing. Some people just be on bullshit. And that's the thing. Is like, let's say I start walking off, this motherfucker walking the same path or something, and he walks past and doesn't acknowledge. And I was like, bro, you know what the fuck you just did, whether it was on accident or not. Just say something. But motherfuckers don't know how to talk at all. They just want to live life thinking they could do because their world matters way more. Like people just caught up in their own shit. But again, this goes back to the YouTube short that I was sharing with people. I was like, when they were interviewing each other in the mall, and the guy goes, yeah, don't attribute to malice what you would attribute to incompetence. When the dude said that shit cracked me up. I was like, he's right. Like, malice is very intentional. Malice is a word it comes with a lot of intention. So some people are intentionally doing malicious things, in that regard. And that's one thing. So that's why I question, like, is this an intentional thing? I don't fucking know. Who cares at the end of the day? But some people just be stupid. Some people just be living their life like they think anything could happen, and they wish things would always go their way. That's how some people are. It is what it is. But there's a level of responsibility in checking people. If I'm constantly speaking up, all of a sudden people label you as the emotional person who has a problem with everything. It's like, no, these are just behaviors that it just seems like common sense that you shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. So I be thinking about that shit sometimes. I'm like what the fuck we doing, bro? Like, I don't know. Some people be raised kind of crazy. I don't know. I don't want to judge nobody, but goddamn. He said, nah, bro, you got the Holy Spirit going through you, helping you realize how things are and making you live life in the best way. I'm trying, man. Like, it's funny, man. I was saying this yesterday, last night. I was like, I helped this dude out with his grief and his it's a long story short. There's an old Truancy Hour episode that's audio. It's an audio version called fuck is this shit called, man? It's called The Embassy of Grief, OG Avery. That's what it's called. You can probably find it on Spotify, which is funny, but long story short, this one dude was grieving at this teriyaki joint, and that teriyaki joint was grieving the dad, and I was grieving my mom, and we all happened to be hanging out the same year and just talking about shit. And then I looked out for him. I talked to him that night while he was getting drunk and telling me that, his girls, his little girl that was sitting at the other table, her mom just died, so he had to step up and finally be a dad. And all this crazy shit. And we're just talking, and then he's like, "Man, whoever raised you, da da da." He was just saying some nice shit to me, which is fucking crazy. And like, he was saying all this nice shit, and he was like, "Man, whoever raised you, man, they treat you doing the right thing out here. You doing the right thing." He said something like that, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying, I'm trying." And then he goes, "No, you ain't trying, you doing that shit." And ever since he told me that shit, like, "You ain't trying, you doing that shit," I've been getting better at trying to give people their props and say the same thing, man. I've been trying to get better at that. It's not easy, man. How's it going? It's like it's not easy, but I try to tell people like, "Hey, man, you're really doing that shit. You got to give yourself props. You ain't got to gas yourself up, whatever. You ain't got to struck yourself off pause, over and over. But you know, you really taking care of business. So I appreciate it, Juice, man. I like I I'm trying to get better at taking all the praises I can get. Like I'm doing better at. I've always been good at not letting the shit get to my head, whatever. But I'm trying to get better at accepting a compliment, like a compliment or whatever, like some criticism, if you will. I don't know. Also, funny enough, hold on, my bad. I was looking at like statistics and like analysis on sorry, page analytics. And I was like, I might start refining my schedule later today. But I got to message one of my mods because one of my moderators, I was talking to them, and I gotta talk to him later today. I might have to hit him up. I'm gonna start walking in a second. Give me a second. Oh, people, yeah, you know what? There's something to that. I think you're right. People with the malice or stupidity are ignoring that Holy Spirit inside them. Yeah, intuition will always lead you to the best path. Man, it's fucking wild because it's like you're not wrong, bro. Like you're not wrong. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I've noticed that, man. I'll give you an example. Like the way you're talking about malicious, the way that we're both talking about malicious intention. I got to use this as a mirror. Um, Tampa Bay Lightning. Shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning. That was my cousin's team when she moved down to Florida. She went to St. Petersburg. But anyway, um, and then fuck was I saying? The way that there's like malicious intent, man. I've been noticing a few things where like you can have the same type of shit for just positive intent as well. But I'm more on that. I don't know what the word is. I'm more on that spectrum. I don't know. I don't even know the right terminology here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, good morning, man. And it's yeah, it's pretty good because it's like I don't know. It's like I'm catching that with certain people. Like in the workplace is one thing. Out on the on a bus stop or something, or like library is one thing. Like I noticed that people like it's not the best option. They're not doing the best shit, but then they have a positive intention, and sometimes that shit is worth more than like nothing, bro. You know what I mean? I'm getting better at recognizing that shit. That makes sense. Yeah. Um, what do you? Oh my bad. I gotta scroll up. Real recognizes real. That's why I always gotta stop when I see you live. You're not spreading junk like most people. You got that aura, man. I appreciate that, man. It's funny. I was talking to ooh, excuse me. I was talking to Lilith last night, and then I remember man, they were saying something like, "Oh, you look good in yellow," and I was like, it's funny that you say that because I used to stray away from certain bright colors, and like I think a couple years ago, I had asked friends and family, like I sent them a text, like random question, kind of stupid. If you had to give me one or two colors that represented me, or like a aura or something like that. So I don't even think I used the word aura, but maybe I did. And they're like, you know what, man? The colors I got a lot were red, orange, and yellow. But I think yellow and orange showed up a lot. And one of my friends explained it. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. Like you don't even wear those colors like that, but it's just something about you is bright. It's warm." And I was like, I don't know. I haven't really heard that ever, and that made me feel good. I was like, you know what? I'm happy that I'm like warm because it'd be cold as shit over here, man. It's one of those things. It just be cold as hell. People be cold to each other. I mean, you know about the Seattle freeze. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that shit. So that the fact that I'm kind of as warm as I possibly can be throughout the Seattle freeze situation or whatever, I'm like, damn, I'll live with that. I'll live with that. I'll take it, you know? But again, that's probably the ego. Like, oh, you like being different. You like being a little different than everyone. And I was like, that's probably true too. So, but I appreciate that, man. Something about trying to give good energy here, trying to, do my best. I mean, you know, hopefully I'm not lying to nobody, to the best of my ability. I'm just trying to speak on experience and shit. I'm trying to read less into things, trying to read more into things that I hope to understand more, things like that. So I'm trying to, does that make sense? Because like the way you talk about intuition, it's like certain things intuitively, I try to respectfully not decide right away. But sometimes when you know, you just know. But on the other hand, things I know nothing about or haven't really studied on, I try to just be a little more active in learning about it, but trying to get a perspective on it. Excuse me, a perspective on things that I don't know what the word is, man. It's tough because I rely a lot on like all facts and no feelings, but sometimes there is an emotional aspect that is starting to like we're seeing it. We're seeing the emotional aspect play out. We're like, come on, man. People just. I'll give you an example, man. We talk. I don't know if I talked about this, but yeah. And it's autumn, bro. You're in the zone now with the red and orange and yellow. Yeah, no, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Now I think about it. You got them autumn colors falling down. I do fuck with like trees, like the madron trees with the red leaves and shit sometimes, or the red bark, or whatever. I do fuck with that. But no, like dude at work was kind of no, it wasn't even work. It wasn't even work. But he was just sitting there like, oh, you saw this dude got shot, and he was just showing off the picture and everything, and they're talking about it. And then he's like, it's just crazy, man. I mean, shit. I forgot what he said exactly, but it was something on the line of like, fucker got what he deserved because he was being annoying and shit. And I'm like, listen, I don't know enough about it because I haven't been looking into shit. Right or wrong, I haven't been looking into shit. But my thing is, I think I spoke about this in the last live stream when we talked about the Charlie Kirk stuff. I was like, if you don't wish, if you, it's one thing if you wish that on someone, but if you're not willing to do it yourself, I wouldn't even be wishing that shit. You know what I mean? Because you think about in terms of the shooter, this guy threw away his whole life just to make a statement and a point, whether it was emotional or not. You know what I'm saying? He threw away his whole thing. So unless you're willing to go down that same path, I wouldn't necessarily co-sign that behavior. You know what I mean? Unless you're willing to actually do the same things that he just did, I don't know if I would necessarily co-sign it. So it's kind of interesting. Let emotions guide you, not control. Yeah, that's facts. And that's kind of where I was with that. I'm like that with a lot of people who attempt to assassinate anyone. And this is no shade, but it's like I personally don't care about people on the large political scale that get shot at. It's not that I hate them or I don't care about them. I actually don't care about them any more than I care about my dad, my brother, my neighbor, and people that I know closely. Like I literally was walking in the street. You might have been here, and then the car that just fucking honked at me. I was, who the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, that's my neighbor's car right there. And it'd be shit like that. We just tap in with each other, pause. You know what I'm saying? You check on each other, and just see where each other is at. Just little things like that. But you're gonna tell me people who have a negative influence over the internet and the world, I'm supposed to sit there and have more emotional threshold or caring for them than people I actually know in my real life. So it's like I don't be too concerned with that. Does that make sense? But I'm also not gonna go out of my way to just start thinking like, all right, I wish so and so and these certain people die and get shot. Like, that's like death note behavior. That's like Kita like Yagami behavior. That's that type of shit. And I'm not into that. Oh, it might get choppy right here. I might start losing a connection. Let me know if it gets a little choppy. But that shit, I was like, man, dude, I get why people are upset, but I can't let that get to me, man. Does that make sense? But it's like I wouldn't do that myself personally. Oh man, I got hella sunshine. My bad. I got hella sunshine in the camera. Um, yeah, I don't. Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't wish like people wish death on people, and I'm like, okay, you're wishing it on them, Are you willing to do it yourself? If you're not willing to do what you're wishing for, maybe you shouldn't be wishing for it. When I say I wish the best for certain people, I'm like, hey, I wish you get that job. That just means like if I was in a managerial position, I probably would have hired you. That's something you can wish for. Does that make sense? It's very simple. And people don't really root shit down and simplify it like that. They just get caught up in the emotion side. And I'm like, man, that's dangerous, man. That's dangerous. Gotta be careful. And that's what I'm saying, bro. On some like collective consciousness shit, this is where we're all going, man. You know what I mean? This is where we're going right now. Where it's like we are over here, you know, we're tribal now with hate type shit. We're tribal with like, oh, you don't hate the same thing I hate? I don't fuck with you then. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Tribes created off of hate. Like I get it. I don't know, man. Back in the day, if you hated being poor, you just came up together and started hustling together type shit. People were just economically putting their minds together to hustle together. Like, damn, I hate being poor. I'm tired of being hungry and shit. I'm tired of not being shit. Motherfuckers have to start hustling together. But now we collaborate off of hate. You know what I'm saying? Like just pure hate. That shit crazy. I might be good off that, man. Like I said, man, I might try and get out of the damn country, man. Look, people are tripping out here for what? Yeah, everybody's talking about climate change. That is one thing. Oh, you could have went. Thank you, though. Everyone's tripping on climate change. I was like, what's contributing to that shit is fucking the climate of the damn country too. No, all right, I'm gonna stop joking about that. That shit crazy. It's just crazy to me. I just don't want to talk down on nobody, man. My bad. It's so bright I can't even see my screen. Yeah, 100%. You don't care much, but also don't celebrate. That's the crazy part, man. I get why some people emotionally feel like they should celebrate certain assassination attempts on people or whatever. Like I don't like one, I don't know them people personally. Two, I get why you don't like them. You know what I mean? But god damn, like that shit crazy to me. But this is what the world coming to, man. People have a lot more energy and concern for this famous shit, you know, for that shit rather than like just things within their own perimeter. And I'm not gonna lie, everyone in my perimeter, they're more concerned. They're not even that concerned with me, really. That's the fucked up part. I'm more concerned with them, and they're not concerned with me. But such is life, right? Such is life, where someone like me will be concerned with my neighbor's health, my dad's health, and whatever the fuck is going on in my brother's head. I don't know what's wrong with him. But then people would just be more concerned with the general public's emotions, thoughts, and political views, like all that weird shit. And I'm just like, I'm good off that, man. I want to know what's going on with people for real. But again, I'm coming from what a mix of real life background and organizing background. So it's like that's where I come from with my stuff. You know, how's it going? Oh, it's crazy. I'm about to pass up the church where I tried to turn off the water because they're running low on water. Man, it's going uphill. I'm kind of losing my breath. We go when it's our time to go, and sometimes it's kind of pointless to mourn too much over death. I think the other part is like because I'm on God, love, and nature time. If it's not someone's natural time to die, or if it's not someone dying on their own terms, I don't know how I feel about that because that's basically that's a form of murder and stuff. So that's why I don't that's why I'm on some like on the same token of like free Palestine or whatever. Yeah, man, people they need to stop bombing people. They need to stop hurting them people over there. I don't like that because it's just like you're not letting people live out their natural life. You're not allowing people to have allowing kids that are dying their natural potential, and you're also creating a bigger monster when you do shit like that. You know what I mean? When you start mistreating each other, we start creating bigger monsters than necessary, and it's not good. Life got too comfortable, and we don't have many common threats against our survival, so we create problems around you. Yeah, no, it'd be like that, man. It really be like that, bro. That's the crazy thing. It really be like that. You know. I said this before, where I was like, maybe not here, but I was like, if we end up getting a utopian society, the simple human curiosity might want to create chaos just to see what the results are like, to see how it affects people, and they may or may not get a joy out of that. The person who's conducting that, they may or may not feel some grief or some shame from that. but they might continue to conduct that. So there's like an old book about a utopia, and I'm not saying it can't exist. I'm pretty sure it did, but all it takes is like a simple form of simple human curiosity to be like, but what if we tried this? What if we broke the dam that's containing water and holding certain waterways back? What if we did this, down the third? And it's just like it's this weird curiosity that always create a sense of chaos. So you have to be very, you know what I mean. You have to be very mindful where your thoughts are at. This is why information helps, because it's like if you're curious about something, information and history will let you know like why you shouldn't be looking into certain things. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, the reason why we don't do this anymore is because this particular thing has been done before, etc. The results weren't too great. If you want to pretend to be Captain Save whatever, go ahead and go for it. But it isn't recommended. Like, you know what I mean? It's like little shit like that. Hopefully, what I'm saying makes sense. My thoughts aren't quite linear right now, um, with a said discussion, but hopefully that makes sense. But we still have the inner structure to form tribes and shit like that. So it's almost human nature to search for problems, even when they're right, or even when they might be synthetic. Yeah, it's. I think what it is like it's a combination of things. It's a combination of whatever comforts you are used to growing up. If that ever gets taken away or tested at any point, then you want to know why. And then again, this goes back to curiosity. It's like, how do I get back to that feeling? How do I get back to that joy? So that's why, when you meet kids, like whether it's me or the next bunch of kids that have a rough childhood, or it's, I'll say it's a mixed bag, because I had good times in my childhood too. I had a good mixed bag. But when you run into people like that, it's like the moment they get older, they're like, this ain't as bad as how I grew up. But when you have people that have certain comforts or whatever as a kid, you're gonna see them try to look for problems. The curiosity of like, how can I inflict enough damage to get the point across? Like some people are like that, where they want to inflict a certain level of damage to get people's attention, to get the point across, because that's the bullshit they were used to growing up. Their world shut down on them because things just whatever. You know what I'm saying? The comfort got tested, the comfort got taken away. It happens a lot to people, right or wrong, but that's just it's the normal psyche of things. But what I'm saying is that if on a general baseline we had a utopia, I think there is a simple human curiosity that would accidentally, if not purposefully, create chaos. Now it comes down to if that said individual actually, you know, I don't know, if they actually liked it, whether they actually felt shame or guilt from what happened. That would be the thing. Oh my bad. Yo, bro, I gotta go, but I always love listening to you talk. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Juice. Yeah, it's funny. I'm getting close to the library too, so if you're bored, come by and watch me play Silk Song later. Have a blessed day. Hey, you have a blessed day too, man. I appreciate it, man. You have a blessed day too. I'm about to go up to the library, charge up my shit, and then I'm about to just be sitting there gaming. But if you're around, man, I'm gonna be around possibly all day. But I appreciate you dropping in as always. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for listening. You know what I mean? I guess anyone enjoy this. Yeah, I'm gonna try to enjoy the Silks. I die a lot in that game, man. I die too much in that game, bro. Like it'd be frustrating. But anyway, hey, don't let me hold you, man. You gotta live your life. You're on dad time over there, so I don't want to hold you. You know, I gotta remember that too. Some of my homies be on like dad time and mom time. I be sitting there bothering them. I'm like, oh shit, that's on me. I'm being selfish right now. But that's crazy, dog. It's like, um, yeah, I try not to. Hopefully, what I'm saying, like, I guess intentional wise, I'm over here just running my mouth. Really, I'm just yapping. But a lot of the banter, I'm trying to always shift energy into a functional way. You know what I mean? Functional before positive, because sometimes positive don't sit well with people. Sometimes it's almost too extreme for people to handle at times. Pause, and it's like you got to be mindful of that. So I try to. I guess that's the word I was looking for, was trying to shift things into more functional conversation, and you know what I mean, like things along those lines, because you know you don't know who's listening, you don't know who's talking, you don't know who's interacting with you, and you also don't know who needs to hear anything. That's the biggest thing for me. You never know who needs to hear it. You never know who's gonna skim through, fast forward and stuff, and need to hear some shit. I'm not trying to intentionally be no motivational speaker. Fuck that. I'm not trying to intentionally be an influencer. Fuck that. I'm just on live trying to get my hours up. Let's be honest. And it just looks like this. It just be like this. So I'm just really on some very selfish thing. I'm just trying to get my hours up so I can get monetized. So I can sit back, upload, and let the few views turn into what it needs to be. But in the meantime, where my mind is at, I'm gonna be thinking and talking like this. right or wrong, and hopefully I refine it over time, or maybe I'll speak less over time. Who knows? But we'll see how that happens. But there it is, y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace. I'm about to get inside here. Gone.